The sixth and potential final set for the first match will be played on Korhal Floating Island. Spawning in the top right-hand position, the ace player from Samsung Con, it's rOrO as the blue Zerg.
His opponent just dragging out the games as long as possible and getting a solid victory for his team, EGTL. Now going for the third and possibly the final kill of the day in the first set. His name is rOrO.
If rOrO wins today, he'll also tie Hydra, I believe, for the most wins in Shindorim of all players, instead of just being #1 for Protoss. He's currently second overall right now anyway. So they are in the top right, bottom left-hand positions, so nothing too crazy as far as the build orders go and having close naturals, anything like that. rOrO looks like he wants to just open this up with the Forge Expand build, because he did build that pylon near his natural ramp, and he is sending out this probe.
Just talking about the last game with the double Nexus in the middle of the map, what's funny is that now, if rOrO starts winning the game, he's going to put down multiple hatcheries in the middle of the map against rOrO. Because remember, it's a team game, and if my teammate has been taken out, then just do the reverse against my opponent.
That's true. Now, hold on a second here. We have a Forge opening here. rOrO, is he going to go for the hatchery first?
The drone is moving out on the map, and rOrO is completely ready. Now, rOrO is going to scout to see if there's a probe in the right side, but does not see the probe on the bottom.
And look at that timing. He knows.
Welcome to Shindorim.
rOrO immediately putting up that pylon. If he forces a cancel on this hatchery, that's going to put rOrO in an excellent position to take this game. And you know what? I see the plan for rOrO. He wants to mess with the morale of the other team, and then, you know, he's going to cannon rush behind that, just continuing blow after blow. So many mind games happening at once here. We have the gas, then pool opening. This is the worst possible scenario for rOrO here. There is no way, no chance in hell that he's going to keep this expansion.
This is your first time in Shindorim against me, rOrO, right, rOrO? Because here comes the cannons at the natural base.
Second cannon on its way, and now look at this, rOrO, he scouts that Forge there, and he sees the timing there. rOrO is thinking, oh crap, I have to cancel this expansion. There's no way I can keep it.
So rOrO, if he's smart, you know, if he really wants to make sure he survives in the game, he needs to take a third base immediately and cancel the hatchery right away.
He's going to have to cancel that hatchery. There's no way he's going to keep that up there. And letting the second one finish there, canceling at the last possible second there. He did that so he could force rOrO to have that second cannon finish up there. So now we have guys mining gas at the main base for rOrO. He is getting his expansion up at the third. So he's going to be behind, though, overall.
All rOrO has to do is defend against possible all-in from his opponent. He saw the 4 Zerglings popping from the egg, so he knows how many Zerglings there are out on the field. He also knows that rOrO did not overmake any Zerglings to make sure he could sneak in some Zerglings inside the main base. And rOrO, he's just scouting around the map to make sure he knows how many hatcheries are out on the map, and he knows where they are.
Now, I guess the question is, what is rOrO's follow-up going to be? He went ahead and did the Forge rush. It worked against his opponent very well. And, I mean, now we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. We have another hatchery on the way at the bottom right-hand of the side of the map.
For now, all rOrO has to do is scout around the map, make sure the Zerglings do not get inside the main base, because his opponent rOrO has up to 8 Zerglings. And okay, rOrO did scout the second base at the 3 o'clock position, but not at the right bottom side.
And you know, he sees the lack of units on the gas. That's going to pretty much show rOrO that, okay, my opponent's not going for the all-in. He's just going to eventually try to retake that natural. rOrO, he doesn't know, though, that this third base in the bottom right-hand side exists at this point. That could bite him in the butt later on in the game, but for now, if you think about it, look at how far these bases are from each other. If rOrO goes for a 2-base timing, that bottom right base is completely toast.
Well, he could still use the rocks to defend for a little longer, but rOrO can attack from the second base position. rOrO is trying to make something work, trying to kill the probe, but all rOrO has to do is build a pylon.
rOrO's on top of his game, not letting anything get by him here. And doesn't even lose the probe.
Behind this, a Stargate.
Stargate follow-up from rOrO here. I kind of wish that rOrO was Jami in this position. from a Protoss perspective, because John B right now, after doing what he did, I know he would force his opponent to go, or he would go for the 2-gate blink timing.
Yeah, he could definitely go for it at this point. hero, he's been playing so solid. He knows that, given that he's not seeing Zerglings taking out the cannons at the natural, he knows that something is up, something is out of the ordinary, and now he's going to try to scout around the main base. Does not see the Roach Roaring, which is unfortunately not inside the main base of rOrO.
Oh. So Hero at this point needs to be getting suspicious of what's going on here because...
Oracle.
Ooh, Oracle opening, interesting. You don't see this often.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's going to scout around the base. He's going to try to get a few kills here and there if possible. We have seen Oracles used to good effect in this matchup. It's just, they have to come when your opponent isn't really expecting them. This Overlord, it's going to see the Oracle finish. Actually, it will... Okay, looks like the Oracle will not be scouted before it finishes up here. And the gateways will be scouted, however.
Yeah, and the Stargate is going to get scouted, so that's going to pretty much allow rOrO to throw down the Spore Crawlers.
Yep. It's going to go ahead and throw down the Spore Crawlers. We have a layer on the way. This Oracle heading over on the top left side of the map. It's going to probably try to scout the alternative third mining base location. This is just weird.
Uh-oh.
Like,
okay.
oh, making a Spine and a Spore in the main. Very interesting.
I guess he's thinking back about game number 1 when Jaedong died to the DTs.
Yeah, it's very possible there. We have a... Oh, okay, here we go. This makes sense. He's sending in some Zealots from that proxy pylon there, and yeah, this Oracle will be able to provide excellent support as well from the air here. There is a Spine and Spore that makes sense, but now the Roaches are out as well. The SimCity is going to be too good, and Hero will not be able to make anything happen with these 4 Zealots, but he did force out some Roaches earlier on here. We now have the +1 attack for both players on the way here. The Roach count looking pretty solid, and that's going to allow rOrO to eventually retake this expansion over here. Hero doesn't have a third base quite yet. He's getting the Robo behind this, but will he get anything else? That's the question.
Well, I don't think he's going to get anything else at this point except eating away on these Roaches little by little.
This is actually surprising from Hero because you don't expect the Protoss player to really commit to this here. And look at this, lifting up that Queen right now. The Oracle still has his energy ability on. He needs to go ahead and turn that off, or it's going to run out, and the Phoenixes, they won't be able to kill off that Queen at this point.
But
the Oracle
remember,
and the Zealots will finish it off,
yeah,
though.
there we go. And behind us, rOrO is taking a macro hatch at 3 o'clock, but you know, the creep isn't connected between the main and the third base, and there's a huge gap in the middle between the bases, so if Hero goes for a timing push from the 2 bases, he can wipe out the 3 o'clock base so easily at this point.
Alright, so the Zealots are going to get cleaned up here, and rOrO has a significant Roach number now to easily get rid of those 2 cannons in the proxy pylon. Hero, he's behind in supply right now, 85 and the 97, but not too much. Looks like he's gearing up to take his third base. These Phoenixes may eventually scout this additional expansion over here. They're going to be able to do a good amount of damage, harassing the drones as well before moving back.
At this point, seeing the macro hatch at the 3 o'clock base and knowing that the Roaches are coming out, the layer is on the way, Hero should know that there is an extra expansion somewhere around the map that he hasn't scouted yet.
He's just completely... I think he's just... Maybe he's actually just removing that from the equation. He doesn't think that's going to happen here. He was really scouting so much, expecting a 2-base timing, but that never came from rOrO.
So he's like, well, now I know there's a base, I'm not going to scout around for it because I know it's there, and at this point I know I cannot touch it.
Nice job by Hero. He's just delaying this 4th base for as long as possible, and this Oracle that's following around the Roaches is going to ensure that they don't try anything sneaky as well.
Well, that's a new way of revealing those Roaches, I guess.
I guess the Revelation ability being used to a pretty interesting effect here. And the force fields, not amazing force fields.
Not so perfect, but nice try by Hero.
Nice try. He had potential. There was potential there. I love how this Oracle is still following the Roaches.
Well, it's an infinite revelation until you take out the Oracle, and it's a really nice spell on the Roaches.
Yeah, it certainly is. All right, well, it looks like we have a Spire on the way, adding on that Revelation to those units now and continuing to follow them around. He didn't need to do that, but, I mean, whatever.
Well,
I guess.
rOrO's now pissed because now he's splitting up the units.
He's like, fine, I'm just going to split them up here. We still have a good amount of Phoenixes out. Nice job. There's 5 Phoenixes there. And finally, the expansion discovered. Nice force field goes down, kills off a lot of units as well. And the Roaches moving in here. They want to try to go ahead and take out this expansion. The Zealots going to work on that hatchery as well, while Hero tries to hold position over here. He has to defend that 3rd base. And Ling's reinforcing him, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill those Zealots in time. The third hatchery, it's so low, and it does end up going down just before the Zealots are taken out. This third base will survive, and these roaches, 5 of them getting picked up here as the Stalkers go to town on them as well. We have Corruptors on the way, +1 air attack as well, and the +2 ranged attack for the roaches is going to finish up here shortly as well. hero looking to be in a very solid position.
It's just working out really well for hero today. You know, everything that he has gone for. The builders in the PvP back in his game against Zhongbi, the PvP that he played previously and went for the Stargate. In this game, going for the Cannon Rush, everything is working out perfectly for hero today. And yeah, there's nothing more to say at this point. It's just working really well for hero. Behind this, rOrO is getting up to 5 mutas, but the 5 Phoenixes are already out, and all hero has to do is add in more Phoenixes.
That's true. Also, don't forget that there's a few Corruptors in the mix for hero.
In the middle of the map, we see rOrO going for a counterattack, but nice Revelation on half of the army.
And there's a lot of reinforcements here. That's going to allow, or at least buy time for hero. The cannons are finishing up as well. The Phoenix coming to defend as well. Will they lift up a lot of these roaches? Yes, they will. Zealots continuing the hack away at this hatchery right now. The supply is very even between both players, and the Corruptors and Mutas are now revealed to hero as well. That should prompt some more Phoenix production from him. Immediately, one Phoenix begins here, and supply is so far in the hero's favor right now. 128 to 113.
rOrO's doing a nice job trying to go into the third base and trying to deny it as much as possible, but the problem is he's already one step ahead of rOrO at this point. He knows what he is going for. The mutas are out. He knows he's trying to hack away at the third base. So all hero has to do right now, since he cannot go for the third base or the fourth base without losing a lot of his units, is just defend over there and get as many Phoenixes out as possible. Yeah,
he's building 2 more Stargates behind this and a fleet beacon as well. Getting more cannons down to defend his expansions. I like the play. I think this is the proper follow-up here. Deal with the mutas. Oh no, the Phoenix catching the mutas out of position here. And there's even 2 hallucinated ones added in with the army, as well as that Oracle. I would love to see a Revelation if they can go ahead and grab those mutas when they're near the Phoenix.
You know, Revelation on the mutas really hurts the third players, because the power of the mutas is catching your
opponent
off
guard. He gets it.
This is so bad for rOrO. The mutas, they're supposed to be hidden on the map and pretty much, you know, put your opponent in a really defensive position, but now with the Revelation, he knows where the mutas are.
And it looks like the muta is going to go ahead and lift up all of the workers over here. hero just doing an amazing job this game. His multitasking, his harassment, his constant map awareness as well is really working towards him. He's getting that +1 attack, the Phoenix range upgrade as well. And look at this, the expansion shown as well by the Revelation. Hero knows about that as well, so he's going to be able to just continue adding in more Phoenix, keeping a very defensive posture at this third base, and eventually he can go ahead and pick off that expansion over there.
You know, as soon as he gets up to 3 or 6 more Phoenixes out, he could go for the attack and win the engagement right away.
Yeah.
In fact, he is already
Look at this carrier on the way.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Whoa.
We have not seen carriers in... I can't even remember the last time we've seen carriers.
Well, I have to say this is a little bit more of a BM move, because the carriers are not going to counter the Corruptors and the Mutas. But it doesn't matter for Hero at this point, because he is well defended against the Mutas and the Corruptors with a number of Phoenixes, and just adding in the carriers one by one and saying, hey, I got the carriers out, you need to leave the game.
Pretty much. I think we're going to have a potential repeat of last game where Hero just prevents his opponent from ever getting a decent economy and slowly hacks away at him. The Muta's coming in now. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage and potentially take out this ground army here. This could be a bit of a mistake from Hero. He's okay with losing this entire army. Looks like he doesn't even care.
I think he just opened up his bottle of champagne a little bit too early. He did take out the third base and the macro hatch, which is really nice for him, but this does allow you...
Well, Hero just is like, you know what? Screw you. I'm just going to keep killing off multiple drones here, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
And here we go. Where's Kim Carrier when you need him, because the carriers are out on the way?
And the Zealots hacking away at this other expansion over here. rOrO getting... all of his expansions left and right are getting disabled by Hero, and there's nothing he can do about it. There is a carrier in a Pro League match. Who would have thought, man?
Maybe back in Brood War, but certainly not in the heart of the Swarm, especially with Tempest and the Void Race doing so much better than the carriers.
Another Revelation on these Corruptors here. That's also going to help out Hero track the movements of his opponent. Hero taking a 4th base as well behind this. rOrO, he's getting his +2 air attack. The +3 ground just about finished for hero as well. But I'm not sure what rOrO can really do in this position. I mean, he's got 3 bases, but he doesn't have a lot of drones right now. He only has a few Corruptors and Mutas to his name, and the Phoenix count is very, very solid at this point. And even Archons are being built now for hero.
You know, what if hero actually accidentally suicides all of his Phoenixes?
I don't see that happening, especially since he's microing them pretty well against these Corruptors here.
No, I'm just trying to... I'm just trying to create a scenario right now on how rOrO can come back into the game, but we don't. I mean, realistically, it's not going to happen at this point in the game. I have to say.
Hero is going into Sky Toss, and there's nothing that rOrO can do to punish that.
Well, do note that if Hero accidentally loses all the Phoenixes, it means that his opponent can use the Mutas to the fullest potential and start hacking away at third base and the main base at the same time with the mobility that he has.
And we have some Zerglings and Mutas being added into the mix here. The Archons are revealed, so that's going to make rOrO a little bit unhappy. Look at this, so much AoE damage hitting these units here. And where are the Phoenixes? There they are. They're still in this army. That's actually, rOrO's got
a lot of Corruptors in that army, so Phoenixes can actually hack away on the Mutas. So it's kind of iffy for him, but his opponent, rOrO cannot also engage into that because he knows that Hero has amazing multitasking abilities and can only target on the Mutas before the Corruptors eat away on the Phoenix.
All right, the Phoenix is moving in here. They realize this extra expansion trying to be retaken at this point. Hero, he does some... this is a mistake from Hero. He's getting too cocky right now, I think.
I think he opened up his bottle of champagne a little bit too early into the game because now he is forced to make gateways right now. He's forced to make some Stalkers to defend against some of the Zerglings that's on the ground, which is not the answer, but, you know, still he's trying to have some answer against Zerglings, and this can actually eat away on the fourth base.
Looks like the Nexus Cannon going down. Time Warp to hit the Zerglings, and the Stalkers with Blink moving in here. The Mutas are trying to kill off the Nexus. Will they get it, though? Doesn't look like it. They just do some economic damage, and they're forced back at this point. That's actually a pretty solid Stalker count. There's still Phoenixes added into this army as well. Don't forget that the biggest issue, I think, for Hero now is that he is going to be forced into a base race if he tries to attack his opponent here.
And rOrO's doing a nice job pretty much forcing all of Hero's units to be at the 6 o'clock position. So now he can take the base at the left top position, and all he has to do is build some Spore Crawlers and put the drones over there and constantly drone up.
It's true. We could also see some Infestors potentially added into this army at a later point as well. Stalkers caught out of position. They're going to get picked off by the Zerglings, but the rest of the army comes in, will force them to be killed off. And now rOrO, he's going into the main base here, trying to target down that cybernetic score. We have Storm on the way here in addition to some High Templars, but the problem with Hero's army is that he is so immobile besides those Phoenixes.
Like I said, if you don't have enough Phoenixes against the Mutas, then you're going to lose the game because of the mobility problem against your opponents.
All right, the Void Rays are now charged up, trying to do damage to the Corruptors here. We have a forward blink, that expansion taken down as well. I do feel like Hero was a little bit too cocky in this game, and it's starting to hurt him now. He had such an advantage. He's still in a solid position. He's not out of this game by any means, but I think that the game has actually started to even out here.
It's just going more weird as the time goes on, so Hero, he really needs to take out the space and prevent his opponent from getting up to 10 gases.
That's exactly what it looks like he's doing here. He's just going to send the Zealots in there to deal with that expansion. We have more Lings being added into the army here, and the Mutas are going to come by and save the base. So
yeah. Okay. This is just going much better for our Zerg player rOrO as he's just slowly eating away on the carrier. The Void Ray is gone. There's 3 Archons on the ground, but all rOrO has to do is not force a fight in that position.
It's true, but Hero, he's able to do some damage here. That expansion's going to go down, and there are some Zealots that are being sent to the other side of the map, and
you can go for the base race right now.
rOrO forcing the base race right now. These Stalkers are going to be able to finish off this expansion, but we need more Phoenixes from our Protoss player.
Like the Templars, there were the Templars here before, but we don't see any of those over here, and the Phoenixes, that's not that much.
Oh, there are the High Templars, though. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage to this army. If they can manage to reach it, though, the Zerglings, they're trying to do a good amount of damage. They're going to be able to pick off the Nexus as well from the look of things. And the Nexus goes down at the 3rd base, the 4th base under fire. The Phoenix now engaging against these Mutas. They're going to be able to get a lot of free hits off here. But the Phoenix count starting to dwindle a little bit at this point, and also the Corruptor count getting quite low as well.
You know, I was joking about the what-if situation if Hero doesn't have enough Phoenixes, and we're actually seeing a little bit of that happen right now.
Well, the problem is the Corruptors have been taken out for the most part. There's a few extras being added in here. And rOrO, he can't actually engage into this army if you think about things. He literally can't because there's so much storm here. The economy for both players looking pretty grim right now at this point. They each have...
Okay, there we go. The 4 o'clock is being taken out right now. The Zerglings to come, but is that going to be enough?
hero needs to blink those Stalkers back right now. It looks like he's going to lose them for the hatchery. Yeah, that's killed off there. One storm going down. Doesn't hit much units here, and...
This is so weird because now both players have a nice army, and you know they
kill the expansion.
What? Okay, there we go.
He gets it.
Both players cannot replenish the army really fast, so whoever wins the one engagement is going to win the game. I mean, Hero, yes, he does have a nice army, but he doesn't have the basis for economy.
Oh, look at this. The Mutas are coming in here. Is the Storm ready to deal with these units here? There's more Corruptors being added in. Hero, he gets a decent Storm off, but it misses most of the Mutas.
And regeneration is going to be just enough. The Phoenixes are eating away on the Mutas once again, but the Corruptors arrive just in time.
Hero realizing he needs to add more Mutas into and more Phoenix into the army, which is what he's doing at this point. You know, he's got 2 in production right now, trying to hack away at those Corruptors there, but the high armor for them does prevent those Mutas from doing a huge amount of damage. Yeah. And the Zerglings are going to be able to get nice positioning there, but no, they ignore the High Templar. A lot of them get picked off. One Phoenix actually ends up dying. rOrO taking yet another expansion on the map as well. That's all he needs to do, just keep making Mutas and blings and expansions and attacking at multiple positions on the map.
You know, both players are doing a nice job eating away on the bases, and this is just getting really funky. I mean, Hero, he had the confidence from the 2 previous games against Zhongbi, against Reality, and he opened up his Battle Champagne just a little bit too early, getting the carrier out and going for the Void Race, not replenishing his army with the Phoenixes when rOrO was just going for pure Corruptor Muta army.
Exactly. Okay, we can see some potential storms here. One going down, but for the most part dodged by rOrO, and...
all he has to do is wait for the regen and wait for his 2 bases to finish up.
Hero also doesn't realize about this expansion up in the top middle part of the map, kind of next to the 4th. We have more Zealots heading over to that side of the base here. rOrO moving towards the natural right now. Hero realizing what's going on, he's going to move back as well to try to defend against this army composition here. Storms going down. The defensive storms are going to prevent anything from happening. And now rOrO is forced away at this point. The Zealots are going to move towards this expansion over here and find it. The Zealots, they need to be microed. There they are. They're going to go ahead and kill off those Zerglings and then move towards that base and eventually scout it. But I feel like we need to see more and more Phoenix from Hero right now, because
yeah, he's just getting a lot of Phoenixes right now. He realized that that was a little bit mistake, that he's been a little bit too cocky into the game. And look at the number of Mutas. He can't just eat away with the number of Phoenixes that he has. Even with the Storm, all rOrO has to do is just evade the Storms and engage into the army later.
rOrO is also maxed out. Something to point out, while Hero only had 166 supply or so. This expansion is spotted. Look at that Muta count. That is just freaking dangerous to look at. I am scared to look at that, man.
And also, at this point in the game, what the players start to crumble when it comes to the mentality. So you see the third player suiciding all of his Mutas into the Storm.
The Mutas getting good Storms off now. This may be the engagement Hero wants to get.
Another
amazing Storm goes down.
He needs to eat away on the Mutas before the regen finishes.
Looks like Hero also attacking this expansion over here. Are we going to see the final engagement?
Not just yet, but Hero's doing a nice job eating away the hatchery at the 4 o'clock base once again.
So that base has been taken down for, I think, the 10th time at this point in the game. The Mutas are going to start regenerating here. The Storms are still part of this army. We have 9 Corruptors on the way as well, and continued Phoenix production from Hero as well.
It's just funny because the Hero is taking a nice advantage when it comes to the bases, but he just cannot engage into the main army. At the same time, rOrO cannot engage into the army of Heroes because of the number of the Storms that he has stacked up right now.
And the Storms will obliterate this Muta army if that happens again like you saw in that first game. And the Phoenixes, they do scout over here. Right now we have 15 Phoenixes, the 36 Mutas, 20 Corruptors. 20 Corruptors is freaking ridiculous here. He's going to need Storm to deal with those. Looks like Hero wants to go ahead and take that bottom right side of the base. Zealots moving over here, and Muta's moving into the natural, soon the main base. Templars out of position indeed, and we have some Zerglings moving over here to try to kill off this potential base. And rOrO, he's just going to go ahead and back off as soon as this army comes. Hero's going to try to catch him out of position here. The Mutas, they're going to chase away this army. Excuse me, the Phoenix.
Yeah, well, he can't force the attack over there at this point because he knows that once he steps in, the Storms are going to come. So all he has to do is run away, defend the 12 o'clock base. Zerglings are moving into the main base now, and Hero, he needs the Stargate production. He needs to make sure the Zerglings do not eat away on the Stargates. He needs the Phoenixes against the muted corrupted composition that rOrO has right now.
Let's not forget, hero is also supply blocked at this point. He's trying to take that bottom right side base, but that's not going to happen here because the mutas are going to come in and kill off everything before hero can secure that location. The Phoenix are moving across the map as well right now to kind of deal with this. They're going to be able to scare away those mutas, at least temporarily. Storm going down, hitting those corruptors pretty efficiently there, doing a good amount of damage. And this Archon moving up here, being a bit bold. Once again, rOrO taking that expansion up there at the natural for the top left base. Hero now finally taking another base as well.
Yeah, but rOrO's doing a nice job. He's not forcing the engagement, but he's trying to put Hero into unfavorable positions with his mutas. Just aiding away on the right side, and then now going to the left, going to the right once again. You know, I just want to see a coordination where he attacks with the mutas on the left side of the map, and the Zerglings get inside the right base.
This base is going to be forced to get canceled. I think at this point that, oh, nice engagement there, killing off a few mutas, but the corruptor count very, very high right now, up to 19 corruptors, 30 mutas. That hatchery does not get canceled. A bit of a mistake there by rOrO. He doesn't exactly have a lot of minerals at this point either, but he does have a lot of gas stockpiled in this position.
Wow.
Hero.
And the Zerglings are going to cancel the Nexus at the right bottom side.
And
the number of cannons actually scares him away.
Storm's going down, actually hitting the Phoenix.
Yeah, but it also puts 2 Templars into Archon, which is a little victory for rOrO, as he doesn't want too many Templars out on the field.
He doesn't. There's 13 Templar out though right now. I feel like Hero, he needs to get some Dark Templar and start hacking away at these other expansions on the top left side of the base. There's now Overseers added into the army here, and some Templar at home. Continued Phoenix production up to 24 Phoenix now. Maybe, you know, we could see some additional Phoenix upgrades. That would be good. He's only got +1 attack compared to the Protoss player who has +2.
With 13 Infestors coming out.
Infestors. This could be the game-winning maneuver for rOrO. He could potentially try to lure his opponent into a position, and then the Fungals could end up going down. So Hero, if he loses this game, it's completely his fault.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's doing a nice job hacking away at all these drones, but rOrO, he already dumped every single mineral and gas into 15 Infestors. Sure,
the Archon over here going to get taken out quite easily. There's still 2 Storms over here. Nice Storm going down, hitting a lot of those mutas there. Going to scare away rOrO, at least for now. Phoenix coming back over here to this top base. They're going to lift off the rest of those drones from the look of things.
And now, you know, we were talking about how Hero was in a bad position. Well, the situation has changed a little bit because Hero, he has the right bottom base. He has a critical number of Phoenixes against the mutas right now. He has lots of Storms. The only factor that could change the game right now is the Infestor. I don't know what this Extractor is doing over here.
I don't know what's doing there either, especially since Hero needs all of that gas right there. And we have an Observer in the army at least, so the Observer will spot the Infestors if they're seen there.
But rOrO needs to make sure the Infestors are spawned at the very last second, especially after Hero dumps every single Storm into the mutas.
Oh, look at this, so smart from Hero. Oh, the Infestors are revealed. Fungal going down, hitting a lot of those Phoenix right there. Instantly 5 or 6 go down. The count now 13 to 24 in the favor of
It could have gone a lot better for rOrO.
Uh-oh, it looks like the Infestors burrowed beneath those Phoenix right there, and Hero, though, he has the Archons, he has the High Templar. He's not going to go ahead and kill off this expansion, just sending a few Zealots in. The mutas are just going to go in and finish that off there. So this is still, it's very hard for the Protoss player.
The Observer is down.
The Observer is down. It's very hard for the Protoss player to actually engage in this position here, but he's going to go ahead and go for it. The Infestors are probably going to be over at that other expansion over there. This base falls, and Phoenix, a few more die. It's 14 Phoenix to 23 mutas, 19 Corruptors. Infestors now on the other side of the map. Maybe they're going to try to go ahead and get these Phoenix out of position.
Are we actually going to see a base race? Because he's giving up in the 12 o'clock position, but that's too many Spine Crawlers for Hero to engage into.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and back up in this position.
And also a lot of Roaches to support for the ground army.
This is just a scary, scary army from rOrO now. And
yeah, Hero just gave his opponent enough time, and you know he's maxed out. He only has 31 drones. Yeah. 170 supply into army at this point.
That's why this army looks so big and dangerous from rOrO here. Now, if we have some good Storms and feedbacks, this can work out in Hero's favor, but eventually I think we're going to have to see an engagement here.
Yeah, well, Hero, he needs to replenish his army with some robo tech right now because the roaches are out in the field. He needs something to counter the roaches and pretty much tank the fungals. And the answer is going to be Immortals, but it's kind of hard to do so at this point when Hero he's just having a hard time taking another base on the right bottom side.
These Phoenix can't get overzealous here. They don't want to get fungled, and it looks like is Hero going to move forward. Fallen Focal going down, only hitting one of the Phoenix here. And we have a Oracle in the army composition as well. Will we see a Revelation on this army here?
And actually, that's going to be a huge win for Hero because he knows now if he gets the Revelation on the Mutas, he knows where the Mutas are going to be. Nice storm on the Roaches, but remember, Roaches they just tank the storm.
They can
really
weather
well.
the storm.
Yeah, and that was actually a much better trade for rOrO, I have to say.
rOrO now a little bit supply blocked at this point, but not anymore. Still at 195. Hero taking another expansion. This game it's not over, guys. We thought it was going to end a lot earlier.
Well, we have Neuroparasite on the way for rOrO. I'm so surprised we don't see a Greater Spire just in case because, now he has enough arm. Now he has enough Corruptors and Mutas to switch some of the Corruptors into the Brewlers, but, he is a black cap at this point.
Yes. All right, this base is going to go down yet again. This base has been killed a lot. Roach is moving into the main base of Hero right now, and this is going to end his Stargate production, at least temporarily, and a lot of his tech going to go down now. It looks like is he going to be okay with letting that base get sacked here?
Well, immediately he's building 2 additional Stargates somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oracle's scouting around here, trying to find the location of this army. Looks like the Oracle, it does get envisioned, but it will get killed off as well. These Void Rays, they have to be protected by the High Templar and the Phoenix as well, or they will end up getting killed here.
Now, if the Fungals kill all the Phoenixes and rOrO can switch into Corruptus right away, but he's doing a nice job
bad
on the Roaches.
All right, looks like the Infestors have decided to move back there, so that could have gone a lot worse for Hero. Revelation is down on all these units here, so he knows the movement path of rOrO. Still just, this feels like a very positional game. Phoenix moving forward here, lifting up a few of these Infestors.
But nice fungal on all the Phoenix right now. And is this going to be the engagement that rOrO was looking for?
Where are the Storms? The Storms, there they are in the back. That's going to force rOrO away here, but at the same time, almost all of the Phoenixes
much Phoenix right now
have been killed
and
off
also
here.
fungal on the Archon, and the Templars can actually change this game around.
That's true. There's not many Archons in this mix. Looks like all of the Infestors will get killed off, traded for the Phoenixes for the most part, and Storm's going down on these Corruptors as well.
rOrO, he's storing away too much army right here. He doesn't have that many Mutas out on the field. He does have a lot of Corruptors, but does he actually have economy? No, he doesn't have any economy to switch it into Brewlords right now. So he got to a scenario where he took out all the Phoenixes and forced all the Templars to turn into Archons. But he doesn't have a Greater Spire. He can't switch into Brewlords right now. In fact, instead, he has 14 Infestors coming out on the way.
The Infestors are very good in these late game scenarios where neither player has a huge economy, but Hero's still mining on 2 bases. rOrO, he's mining, it looks like on 2, maybe 1.5 or so.
And the base is getting attacked once again.
We have more Mutas in production here from rOrO, but only 2 right now, so the Muta count will not be back to where it was for a long time here. It seems like the air battle kind of ended in a stalemate. I mean, rOrO technically has the air advantage, but Corruptors can only hit air units.
What are those Corruptors going to do? I mean, rOrO was thinking to a point where, okay, I'm going to take out all the Phoenixes and my Mutas are going to do a lot of damage, but he didn't think of the scenario where he took out the Templars and the Phoenixes, but his own Mutas were sacrificed at the same time. All
right, now the Infestors over here trying to get a few Fungals down. We're seeing Hero move into more of a ground-based composition. He has a lot of Archons and Stalkers in his army base here. A few Storms as well. Feedback's going down. Nice moves from Hero. The Stalkers now moving forward. Neuroparasite goes down. Oh no! The Corruptors have all been taken out. GG!
Hero just risking everything for going for carrier so early in the game. And he allowed rOrO to come back into the game, but the patience was the key as Hero. He always fought in the favorable positions, took out every single Mutas. Look how tired he is, but look how happy he is right now.
Hero taking the win. He can barely stand up at this point. Looks like that game took so much out of him physically and mentally. The coach is probably happy that he won, but at the same time, he's probably going to get a scolding for making that game last so long and playing a little bit too cocky.
I mean, carriers in PBC that early?
Bit of a victory carrier there. Maybe hero thought that he was more
It's
ahead
okay.
than he thought.
He was looking 40 minutes into the future. It's okay, guys.
But
it's okay.
He ended up taking the win there. That was a nice ending, I guess, to the game. Very, very big engagements, but just constantly back and forth with the positioning. Hero, he's got the patience. There's no denying that. I think he picked up some spoon techniques from Thorzane when he was in the EGTL house.
Well, what if this happened? He knew what was going to happen in the game. He knew he was going to win anyway, so just for a sideshow, he just threw away all of his units and didn't make Phoenixes for the fans.
I
For
guess
a dramatic win for EGTL.
The last two games were quite dramatic, but Hero ended up getting the victory for EGTL today, ending the series 4-2. A solid victory for Evil Genius's Team Liquid.
And this is actually a great news for CJ, Teammate, and EGTL at the same time, because now they have a chance to slowly close the gap between CJ and Samsung Khan.
Now I also want to point out that Hero has tied Hydra for the most wins in Shingarim out of all players.
You know, finally, it seems like EGTL, they finally found a player where that they can depend on in these scenarios. Hero, he gets sniped a few times here and there, but look at his record in Shindorim.
15-6, very impressive there. He doesn't have a record in Yongsam, but he has been doing better there since they got those new seats for Pro League. And overall, Hero, he won his games today. He looked confident throughout everything, despite a bit arrogant at times, I guess you could say. He did get the wins, and that's the important thing.
I think he was dwelling on the fact that he got an all-kill against Mouse Esports earlier today, and he was just depending on the fact that he was like just trying to celebrate as much as